What's happening? This is TM26 here, bringing you a 2025 guide on how to start a guild from scratch. This is going to be a comprehensive multi-part series where we are going to go over from start to finish on how to start a brand new guild from scratch. Now, starting a guild in BDO is a very lengthy process if you're trying to get it full-fledged. The beginner steps is you have to understand where you want to go with your guild, what you're going to do, and what kind of individuals you're going to want in your guild. What direction do you want to go? Meaning, are you going to go for PvE community? Are you going to go for a PvP community, open world PvP community, red player guild, life skiller guild, adventure guilds if you're just trying to obtain knowledge? So it drastically depends on what you and maybe your close friend group want before you create that community. Now, I am going to walk you through every single step of that process like I said before. But I have to reiterate, making a guild in BDO is a very, very lengthy process. And I only recommend it once you've obtained enough gear and are well versed enough in your subject of the game to where making that guild won't completely destroy your progression as a player. Alright, now that you have your scope of what you want to do with your guild in mind, you'll come over to the guild NPC. When whatever city you're in, all you have to do to find that guild NPC is come into the Find NPC function at the top right hand of your screen next to your map and click on Guild. That'll bring you to usually the 3 guild NPCs, and all you'll have to do is come over to the guild manager. Once you come over to the guild manager, you'll press R. You'll see all these chat options. Next, you'll go over to Create Guild. You will have to pay 100,000 silver up front, and you'll get 80,000 silver back. You go into register your guild name, have your name in mind already. You check the name, that name is available. You click confirm. Your guild has been created. Now, to start off, you're going to have a couple things you got to keep in mind, right? This is your guild interface. You're going to start off by wanting to make your going into Photoshop or whatever application you may have, and you're going to want to make your guild icon, probably a guild banner for your Discord, and then also a guild information. You're going to go in here and you'll register an image in here to where people can see and click and see your guild and the information about your guild. I really recommend getting all that done as soon as possible, so that way the appearance of your guild is done, so you can post that right into the BDO NA EU or whatever server you are guild recruitment section, so you can get more tracks into your guild more quickly. We will come over to your guild members. Your guild members, you will need 10 online, and I believe it's 10 on people. I think you'll need 10 people in your guild, and then you'll need 3 people online consecutively to start doing guild missions. That's how you start getting your guild skills. You want to get these guild skills filled up as much as possible, and as a fresh guild, you are going to be basically doing 10 out of 10 guild missions every single day. You should try to. It's not too intensive, especially once you get like 4 or 5 people doing it. You can get knocked out pretty quickly. But that's really important, right? You want to try and get your guild skills filled out as quickly as possible. They just make the quality of life of being in a guild a lot better. Next, we're going to talk about permissions. When you are setting permissions in a guild, there's a lot, right? So it's a lot, but this is very important. You can set up specific members in your guild that might be a general member, just a normal person, to have different authorities, right? So this is going to be how you, like if someone wants access to guild storage so they can use juices, you'll put access to guild storage, and they'll be able to go in and take juices out of the storage, use them on their characters. You also want to make sure that the people that are doing a lot of guild missions have access to the guild storage so they can put those guild items back in the storage. You can also, for your advisor, give them the ability to summon bosses. So whenever you're doing your guild bosses, if you got to do something and you're not able to be around, your advisor can take care of that for you. Okay, your next step for you as a guild master is to understand what the roles are, right? There's a couple of different functions like cannoneer and I think there's like a quartermaster position now. That's not too important. I mean, unless you're warring, the cannoneer's going to need that role so they can have access to cannons. But your main functions you're going to want to be aware of. First, guild leader. Obviously, you have full command of the guild. Do whatever the fuck you want with your guild, right? Second, the advisor. The advisor should be someone you trust closely, preferably a friend, someone you're in contact with a majority of the time. That person is going to be a second you. They're going to do whatever you do on a normal basis for the guild when you aren't around. Preferably, that's how it should be set up. Then, moving on, you have your staff members. Your staff members are also very, very important. Your staff members are going to do essentially similar to what that advisor does, just a little bit less. Your staff members are going to be essentially the workhorse of your guild. Yes, your officers will also have their designated roles that they will do as well, but staff are going to do a majority of that administrative work. Moving on to, like I said, your officers. Your officers are also extremely important, and you need to make sure that they are well aware of whatever roles they are doing. Otherwise, guilds tend to typically fall apart. So maybe an officer that'll help players with boat content. That person has all their caravels and all kinds of shit like that. That person is going to be the person who gives out all the information about boats. And you're going to want to do that for every single one of your officers, preferably. Some guilds like to make damn near their entire roster officers of the people they trust, so that way they'll all have perms to do shit with the guild. If you're operating a smaller guild, I really do not recommend that, because it can be a bit confusing on who's doing what. And then you'll have to go through logs, and you'll have to track a bunch of shit. It's not really fun. Alright, so this next section is going to be the Discord. I know this isn't a part of making the guild in the game, but I really think the Discord being mandatory for your guild will just set you up for success, allow you to communicate with your people a lot easier, right? The Discord takes a little bit, right? The Discord is where you're going to put your different sections, your different chats. So you want to have people be able to flex their screenshots, IRL, so if they're putting fucking cat pictures, right? You want to have all your different sections and the roles for your members set up correctly. So if we go into here, into our roles, we have all our different roles, right? The guild master, advisor, officer, guild members, friends, and server boosters. Discord just adds that to add it, right? Setting up these permissions properly is very important, so that way you don't have someone that could potentially backstab the guild in the future. I've seen it happen. It's not fucking fun. People dismantle the Discord whenever people aren't online, and then boom, now everyone's fucking scratching their head because they don't know what happened. Set up these perms properly. Take the time. Be intensive, right? Dig into it. Try and get as meticulous with it as you can, so that way you know your Discord is good. You just got to assign the roles. People can chat all they want, so you don't have to be around being a fucking Discord mod all the fucking time, right? I do recommend that you set up different sections for the type of members that are going to be in your guild, right? I called my officers my cadre, right? I have this set up separately so we can communicate about internal affairs about the guild without other people snooping, right? Also, have this area set up for your guild members. Have your IRL chat in your guild members so that way randoms that join your server won't be able to see people's personal information. If you think that if your server is restricted enough to where you don't think people will come into your server and they'll snoop like that, so be it, whatever. But I do recommend putting your IRL chat inside of here so that way people just can't see that shit, right? Something I do want to point out, this isn't like a big thing, but I had a bit of trouble with this. Inside of roles, I had, the perms set up for everyone. I accidentally didn't allow them to view channels. So I removed as many perms as I could, but they couldn't view the channel, so they weren't able to type into anything. I couldn't click on them. I couldn't, I couldn't do anything, right? That was a me mess up. Don't make the same mistake. It's just kind of annoying. It makes people irritated when they join your server. Now, that's going to be about it when it comes to the setup of your guild, like that basic setup, right? You want to make sure that you understand the scope of where your guild's going to go. Make sure your guild description is complete. Make sure your roles, permissions, all that kind of stuff is done. Advertise your guild as much as you can. Once you get all that set up, try and get to that 10 member mark so you can start doing your guild missions. Make all your different logos, advertisement, guild info pages so people know what they're looking at when they're looking at your guild, so they don't have to go searching for information about you. Make it so all that information is right there, presented and available. Now that's going to be about it all for me for this episode. This one was just the basis on where to get started. We'll dive more into different videos about how to set up certain functions and also different processes along the way. This is going to be my journey and my check-in kind of over the next month or so of how it is to start a brand new guild. Feel free to fry me in the comments on whatever you think I should improve on in this format. I'm new on the recording side. I've been trying to stream some, but figured I'd swap over to some long form content for more individuals. Yeah. Alright. That's going to be about it all for me today. It's been TM26, and see y'all in the next one.